Almost there. What a morning. Happy Friday, everybody. Hello and welcome back to the Kristin Omdahl Show. This is episode 1018 and we are here live in Southwest Florida at the beach. It is super duper busy here. I think I'm a little bit late, and it's simply because I have been in line to get into the beach itself. I was in line to even enter the beach, and then it took forever to find a parking space. I almost had to give up. I finally found a space at the very end, so we're here. Hi, good morning, Grace. Hi, Lily, Judy, Lisa, Joe. Good morning. Hi, Lori. Good morning. Hi, Val. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to the Kristin Omdahl Show. This is episode 1018. We're live in Southwest Florida at the beach. Hi, Judy, Patricia, Joe, Sandshell, Judy. Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope you're having a great day so far. Hi, Lori. If you've been crafting since the last time we spoke, let me know what you've been making. Let me know what you're working on. If you have questions for me, ask. What else? Hi, Kathy. Hi, Lori. Thank you. Thank you. I brought a couple of springtime wraps and vests and things to try on. Thank you, Emmy. I have new glasses. I got these on Amazon and I am so in love with them. They're reading glasses, so you don't need a prescription. They're just reading. They're bright blue on top and they go like gradient to light blue on the bottom, and they are bigger than my normal reading glasses and definitely more bright and bold, so I thought it was super fun. Hi, Christine. Good morning. Hi, Patricia, Diane, Kathy, Lori. Good morning. You can find these in my Amazon shop if you're interested. I am trying out some new looks for glasses, and if they appeal to you. I did not take my rose colored glasses off. I still have them. The thing is, I wanted to try some different shapes, and I'm getting something like this in a rose color also, and I'll be showing you those when I get them. I just thank you. I wanted something different and bright and maybe a little more modern looking. I like the idea of bigger frames. I like the oversized reading glasses. But yeah, I'm not getting rid of my rose-colored glasses. I need those too. I just noticed that when I'm reading, because like if I'm doing interview videos or doing the show here where I'm talking and having to read at the same time, I felt like it was harder to see my eyes in the smaller glasses, so I thought if I went with a more oversized frame that you might be able to see my eyes better, so that you could see that I'm looking at you or talking to you sort of thing. I felt like it was harder to see my eyes and see my eye expression when I speak in the smaller glasses. I noticed it in the video where I was interviewing Krista Patel of The Secret Yarnery. I thought that my glasses were distracting and wanted to try something different for reading purposes. Thank you. Hi, Yana. Thank you. So I am wearing a couple of things. Today's going to be all about styling, okay? So I'll just put that out right now. And I've thought of so I've been fooling around with this top this morning to start with, and I'll tell you we'll go to the knit and crochet stuff second, but see how this top ties in the front, or it laces up in the front, and it's long and loose, and I thought I wanted to try to do this sort of thing, but I didn't think that was very attractive, so I thought of another idea. I took one of these ties and wove it through the lowest section of lacing here, like that. All right, just laced it through, and then I'm gonna cinch up and then tie the ties together. Look at this. So it's given me a little bit of some drape. Whoops! It's giving me a little bit of draping here in the front, and I did better at home, so maybe it's just something that needs to be fooled around with. But it also gave me a little lift down here so that it's not going just straight across my short line. I thought that tying that up and cinching it, kind of like one of those hacks where they show you how to do it with a rubber band, I thought that this was a super easy way to create some draping in through here, some diagonal lines, which I think are really slimming compared to how this top looked just down and low, and then also gave me that angle at the bottom that I wanted. So that in itself I feel like is a win this morning. So I'm pairing it right now with the Fine Jillian Shrug, and you can find this pattern. You can find all the patterns I'm going to talk about on my website today. I made this particular shrug in Be So Fine yarn, #1 fingering weight bamboo. It is a rectangle though, so the pattern comes with schematics, and this stitch pattern is a small scale stitch pattern, so you could definitely do this with variegated yarn. So what this is a rectangle, and then that rectangle is folded and turned into a shrug. And because of that, you could actually do this in any weight yarn. You just want to use the stitch pattern with the correct number of multiple for whatever gauge you're doing, yarn and hook size, and make the size rectangle you need for whichever size you're making, and follow the directions. So you could do this in anything from a 0 lace weight up to a 5 or 6 bulky and super chunky weight. It doesn't matter, you could do it in anything. Now, fiber content is what makes the difference in something to be drapey. So you want to pick fibers that are drapey to get this type of a look, and if you wanted to do this with more structure, then you could do something with an animal fiber or a synthetic. If you wanted something warmer for fall or spring or whatever, or if you want something more summery, then you would do a lighter yarn. But you could do this in any weight yarn. You would just need to adjust your multiple for your gauge to get that rectangle right. The pattern is sized, so there are several sizes in the pattern. You make whichever size is suited to you. And it's super duper easy to wear. Anybody that likes something over your arms and you are wearing something that's sleeveless, great way to cover your arms, right? It's so flattering, and it's flat or straight across the back. So also super flattering that way as well. You could make the rectangle longer if you wanted longer sleeves, and then you would just sew longer along these two edges. You would create a longer seam to create more, to make it tighter on your body. Also, I could even have done that on this one. I feel like it's a little loose on me in this way, and that if the top is not from my Amazon shop, this top is super duper old. Sorry. And then once you sew that seam, then you do this edging around the whole thing. But if I would have made these seams a little longer, this would have been more fitted. Let me show you. So if I were to have sewn up this much, it would have been more fitted on me. So you really do have lots of options, even within a sized pattern, because you're making things handmade. You have the ability to make things customized to you, and I think that's so exciting. So this is the Fine Jillian Shrug, and I'm going to show, I brought a couple of pieces with today because I thought, you know what, any one of them would have looked cute with a flowy top and white jeans or white jean shorts. I'm wearing shorts, but you know, if you would prefer to wear jeans, I feel like the white, bright color and lace is still a look no matter what. I brought the little hickory knit lace cape. This one's cute too, although I didn't account for the fact that you weren't going to see. That's a good idea, Melanie. I should do something like that. I should make a little, you know, like those little lawn signs that say, that you would put in the grass out front for like a garage sale or for sale or whatever. I could put one of those right here. You're right, that would be cute. Okay, so with this particular one, I like it, but I definitely would like it better with a different shirt, only because, or a different bra, because this particular tank top goes in so far and is so narrow up there, you can see my bra strap. So I think that that is very distracting. However, if I wore the appropriate bra with this, I kind of like this area of skin being exposed. I think that part is fun. So in general, I think that this could still be a cute look over this blouse and these shorts, but I think it would be absolutely cuter over a simpler silhouette underneath, or I could adjust with correct undergarments on that one. All right, what else did I bring? I brought the Summer Love vest this morning too. I think this one's gonna look super cute. Yeah, definitely. So because this neckline is a V and this has a V, I think that that's super flattering, and having that, see again, my bra is showing. So I would definitely, if I was planning this as an outfit, I would definitely do a different bra. And also, I think that I would pick a top that doesn't have all of this going on here. I feel like corset tying on top of corset tying is a little distracting, but imagine if I wore a different top that was simpler underneath, then we're talking a gorgeous outfit, no question. Like I said, I'm wearing jean shorts, but imagine this with pants too. None of these are knit so far, so no, there's no video for any knit. Oh, the knit ones, yes there is. This one was, yeah, there should be a video for most of these. Okay, and there is a video for the little hickory knit lace cape. It's an old video, a very old video, probably needs to be redone. I'm sure I'll find out. Okay, so now we'll try on another one. I didn't bring a bunch, I just brought a few things. So here's another one. This is the Chantilly lace vest. Brought this one to try on today. I think this looks adorable. And we've done so many styling videos about this one, but again, you could tie it in the front like this. I think the white, yellow, the white shorts or jeans. This one's longer, and if your layering is going to be longer than your shorts, I think you need to wear pants. So in my opinion, I would do this with white jeans instead of white shorts. And also, I think that because they're both sleeveless, this is what I've been talking about before. When you're wearing two layers that end at the same spot, I don't think it's nearly as flattering as wearing, so like this one's sleeveless, I think my shirt underneath should have a little bit of a sleeve or a long flowy sleeve. I think that makes a difference. Yeah, so I don't love this one with this top or these shorts, but in general, there's lots of, let's try it this way. Fold it in half and see if that helps. Yeah, not too much. I'd wear it with something else. Okay, so next I have the Gladys shrug. And I know that there are people waiting for videos on this one. This is a video that's longer than a video. It's going to be a series of videos, and no, it is not done yet, but it is coming. This is the same kind of construction as the first fine Jillian shrug that I wore today. It is a rectangle that's then closed up and with a collar added to it. And this one will absolutely look adorable with this. And here's another example of wearing another color too. So going with the purple on top of the yellow and white, I think is super fun. Yep, I love the Gladys shrug too. I've been wanting, my goal was to show, because this is done in #1 fingering weight yarn, this was in Be So Toasty, but it could be done in any #1 fingering weight yarn at that gauge. But what I wanted to do was show you how to do it in a much thicker yarn to prove that once you know how to do the stitches, you can make a rectangle in any gauge as long as you make it to the size of the rectangle to make any size project. Well, I'm out of the yarn that I was going to do for that, so I think I might redo this in Luxe, which is Be So Luxe yarn, or Be So Baby yarn, which is still a #2 and a #3 weight yarn versus the #1 that this was. And I think that that will still be a learning opportunity to show you the compare and contrast between making it in the #1 and making it in a thicker yarn, because we're going to go over the pattern, teach you how to do all the stitches, how to do this amazing motif fabric that's seamless without cutting yarn. But once you get past that, then talking about the sizing of it, I think it's going to be a really interesting lesson to learn how to do it at different gauges, to learn how to manipulate your pattern. So this is going to have a lot of information, which is why I've taken my time in making the video for it, because I want to make sure I do it justice. Okay, one more. Speaking of Be So Luxe, this is the Luxe Fantasy cardi-wrap in Be So Luxe yarn, and I do have the sleeves attached this morning. And first of all, I think this color is going to look great with white and yellow. Second of all, I think the sleeves are a great choice because my layer underneath is sleeveless. If I had sleeves on my layer underneath, let's say I was wearing a blouse with flowy sleeves, or even a fitted blouse, or even a short sleeve tank top, I think wearing this without the sleeves would be fun then. But as long as I'm wearing sleeveless underneath, I think the sleeves are a way to go. And as a reminder, the sleeves are not permanently attached here. I have corset tied the sleeves so that you have options to wear this both with and without. And again, because these pieces come down longer than my shorts in the front, I think that I would prefer to wear this with pants instead of shorts. But if you wanted to still wear it with shorts, I would do one of the styling techniques that made it a little shorter in the front, like that. Okay, does anybody have any questions? It's so busy down here, and there are people just watching me and laughing. But I don't think laughing in a bad way, laughing in a fun way, because I'm the one that's being weird down here. This is not appropriate beach behavior at a busy beach, right? Yeah, black bodice and jeans, black bodysuit and jeans would look amazing with all of these. White bodysuit and jeans, or picking up a color that works with any your underlayers, or doing something high contrast with your underlayers. There are so many different ways to style all of these. And playing around with texture. So like wearing a flowy top that's solid, that's a solid color underneath the lace allows you to have that really great, it allows you to really see that negative space between the lace too. If I were wearing a printed top underneath, a pattern top underneath, you wouldn't be able to see that texture as well. But it's wearing a solid contrast color underneath that allows the negative space of the lace to pop so well. Isn't that great? And we talk about what would and wouldn't work for variegated yarns. Here's a great example of that. Now, if you were using a variegated yarn that was high contrast colors, this might get a little busy. But because these colors are very analogous meaning that they're right next to each other on the color wheel, I think that that's what's allowing you to see the lace and see the stitch pattern so well without being distracted by the variegated yarn. We can talk about that on another day with an example. I'll bring variegated projects, a variety and the color wheel. Does that make sense though, or does anybody have any questions about that? Because when choosing a variegated yarn over a solid yarn, there are some things that are really important to decide. First of all, how detailed your stitch pattern is, and also how high or low contrast the colors are in the variegated yarn. The closer the colors are together, the more a variegated yarn is like a solid color yarn. This is almost just like nuances of the same color, right? It's almost like shadows of the same color. So that works for a busier pattern. This is a pretty busy pattern, you know. Whereas the other way that it worked really well for variegated yarns is when your stitch pattern is smaller, tighter scale. So like I think in this kind of stitch pattern, unless the colors were analogous or similar, I think you might lose some of that lace detailing when doing that in a high contrast variegated yarn. Let's see, what about this one? I might as well give a report on all of them. So this one as well, I think you could lose some of the texture here. Maybe not. But low contrast variegated, you could, I don't think there's an issue ever using low contrast variegated yarn in lace. It's only when you go into high contrast variegated yarn that sometimes you're better suited for solid fabrics or simple stitch patterns. So like for example, this stitch pattern is relatively simple and small scale. See how small scale the repeat is? That would work for high contrast or low contrast variegated yarns. The only difference would be that when you use high contrast variegated yarns, you will lose some of the texture, and your focus will end up being, or the visual focus will end up being on the color work more so than the stitch pattern. So it's not to say that it's bad to use high contrast variegated yarn on anything. It's about what you want the focus to be on. Do you want the focus to be on the stitch work, or do you want the focus to be on the color work? I don't, in a high contrast variegated yarn and a busier, I got a burr in here. I was gonna put this on. Not putting it on with a burr at the armpit. No thanks. That would have hurt. I would have screamed for sure. Can you believe I found a way to get my camera in the shade and not me in the shade? Like, I feel like a win. I feel like this is a winning day for me. All right, so where was I? I was marveling at my contraption here. You got to see this. So it's so ridiculous. So here's the umbrella that I attached to Dolly so that my camera is stays in the shade and doesn't get overheated. But first of all, the clamp won't clamp onto Dolly really well. So once I clamp it on, it leans over. And then I still have to put a bend in the neck of it so that it angles just right for Dolly. And as I'm sitting here, some days when it's windy here, I'm afraid the whole thing's gonna go flying. But at least today it's not super windy. So now I'm just watching it lean over further and further as we go. It was literally standing up when we first started, but because I can't get a really tight fit from the clamp of the umbrella to the Dolly framing structure, it keeps sliding down, so it's definitely not sturdy. But let's double check. Camera is not in the shade anymore either. It's only in the shade when this is working. There, that's better. Now it's in the shade again. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about what we've talked about so far? I feel like we've talked about a lot. Hi, Ellen. Hello to anybody that I might have missed. Hi, Donna. Happy Friday, everybody. Glad you could take some time out of your busy schedule to spend a few minutes with me. Thanks, Barbara. If I put a piece of foam pipe on Dolly, maybe, yeah. You know, it's funny when I have, yes, Karen, I have lots of tips for thinning hair. We can talk about that too. If I don't get to it today, we can definitely talk about it sooner than later, because that's something that not only I have issues with, but I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm having more issues with it too. As far as the technical issues here at the beach, the problem is that once I leave the beach, I'm hitting the ground running for working for the rest of the day, and I often don't think about Dolly or the umbrella until I'm driving to the beach the next day. So I need to have some sort of reminder for myself to figure out you know what might work? Would a pool noodle work? No, not a pool noodle. Although maybe slicing a piece of pool noodle and then slicing it so that the whole thing just goes around that frame, maybe would give it more teeth to bite into. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Maybe even like a towel? A little tiny washcloth? I feel like it's just too thin for the clamp, that's all. Anyway, one of these days I'll figure it out. Number one thing, somebody mentioned the thinning hair comment. Number one thing to do when you feel like your hair is thinning is to try to not stress about it, because stress will make it worse. And I have noticed that when I start freaking out about how thin my hair is and how much thinner it's getting as I get older, I'll be 50 later this year, I feel like it gets thinner when I stress about it. And lately I've been trying to embrace and not try to do things with my hair that my hair can't do. Being realistic about the types of styles you can do is important too. Having said that, there are a gazillion things you can do with fine hair, and there are amazing products on the market for it now too. So yes, I will definitely talk about that on another show or another episode, but I think we're too close to running out of time, and I don't have anything to show you to give you more tips than that. But those are the two most important things. Try not to stress about it, and embrace the fact that there are things that you can do and things that you probably can't do without causing more damage to your hair. A foam pipe wrap might be. I don't even know what that is, G, but I could certainly look for it in at Home Depot or Amazon. You're welcome, Karen. My pleasure. You know I love sharing my tips when I learn new things. I mean, being someone that has such a voracious appetite for information, I'm constantly wanting to research and constantly in learning mode, that I get so excited about finding out good things that you know how important it is to me to share my knowledge with others. And thanks for indulging me every day, because this is what I do in my real life too. Anytime someone has a problem or a thing and I'm like, oh, I know what you can do. Some people love it, some people don't, but I just get so enthusiastic about sharing my research with others. All right, does anybody have any other questions? You too, Karen. Have a great weekend. All right. Well, I don't see any questions, so why don't we? You won't believe this, guys. I still have my Florida Nature book with me, ready to go should we find something to look up. I'm so proud of myself for that. And let's look up a quote. This is Create, Share, Inspire Notebook, Volume 1, Issue 3. And let's randomly pick a quote. Ooh, I think we did this one the other day. We did this one the other day too. Ooh, this is a good one. I love this one. Okay. This is from Booker T. Washington. It's on page 30 of Volume 1, Issue 3. Excellence is to do a common thing in an uncommon way. Isn't that great? The more intention and love you put into every single thing you do on any given day counts. It makes a difference. It makes a difference a little bit when you do it once. It makes a little more difference when you do it occasionally, and it makes a whole lot of difference when you do it regularly. I love this one. Booker T. Washington, thank you so much. Excellence is to do a common thing in an uncommon way. Dang, I love that. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes here with me. I hope you enjoyed the sunrise, the beach, the sound of the waves, the colors, my show and tell and styling tricks, chatting with me and everyone else. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. Have a wonderful weekend. Please, gentle reminder, please try to make some time for some self-care this weekend. I promise I will try to do the same. And I'll see you Monday for the next episode of the Kristin Omdahl Show. Bye, everybody.